non-linear data structure. So what is the difference between linear and non-linear now? Example. Examples of linear data structure. What is a linear data structure example? Example, stack, queue, right? What about non-linear? Trees, graphs. Now, what do you mean by a stack? Okay, what do you mean by linked list first of all? Because we have to go to linked list, the second unit, right? Okay, what is linked list? Collection of data. So how do you organize a list? Linked list means what? Link. Link means what? There is a connection from one variable to another variable, that is called as a linked list. So a linked list is a linear data structure. Means what? You are going to put the data in linear fashion, but you are going to access it non-linearly. Okay, it is both linear and non-linear. How? Because you are going to organize the data and access them by using pointers. So what is a pointer? Mana C programming lo jarigindi. What is a pointer? How do you represent a pointer? Yes, you have done C programming. I heard that you have got very good marks in C programming. What is a pointer? Pointer and enti. You don't have pointers concept? How do you represent a pointer? Symbol of pointer, star. So what is the use of a pointer? It stores the address of the other variable, but it does not have a value of its own. Clear? Okay, should I start? Okay, just listen. When I tell you write, till then there is no need to write. Just listen first. So your second unit is about linked lists. In that there are three types of linked lists: single linked list, double linked list, and circular linked list. Now this is called as a linked list. Okay, the symbol to represent a linked list. I don't want anyone to do any other work. I am telling you all again. When I ask, you have to answer me in between. Okay, so what is a linked list? It is a linear data structure. Can you see the screen? Yes or no? Yeah, so this is called as a linked list, which is called as a linear data structure. Here the elements are not stored in contiguous. I said it is linear data structure as well as non-linear data structure. So what do you mean by this? I can store the elements anywhere. Clear? I am storing A here, I can store B here. So how do I access them? I am accessing them by their address. So a linked list consists of two fields, data field and address field. Right? So this variable A is holding its own data, and this next field is going to hold the address of the next variable. Clear? So a linked list consists of two fields. One is data field and next field or address field. Address field means whose? The next variable's address where you are going to store. Right? So this single linked list has two concepts. One is head and the other one is called as tail. The last one is called as tail. So head stores the address of the first variable, right? And the last one, this tail does not point to anyone. Clear? So in this place of empty pointer, you are going to point it as null. Just remember that. So what is a linked list? It is a linear data structure which holds the elements, which does not hold the elements contiguously. Contiguous means what? You know what is an array? Array stores the elements continuously. Here they do not store the elements in continuous memory locations. Is that clear? So this is the symbol for representing a linked list. Now how do you write the program for the linked list is for this concept. For this particular concept, see all this is this one. So what is the difference between array and linked list? Array Now here I write an array, it is represented as a square brackets, right? So here how many memory variables does it store? It stores from 0 to 9 variables, right? If I store a 11th variable here, does it store? It does not store because it is called as a static memory location. It stores fixed number of cells, whereas linked list will will store unlimited amount of data. That is the difference between array and a linked list. Array is static while linked list is dynamic. Clear? So we will see all this later. Okay, let us start with the structure. How do you store a linked list? Now see here. Now here, my concept at this is. ఇది కంటెంట్ స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ వస్తుంది కదా, ఇలా కాకుండా మొత్తం పీపీటీ ఒకసారి రిప్రజెంట్ అయ్యేటట్టు కొద్దిగా చేంజ్ చేయవా? ఇలా వాళ్ళకి కనిపించదు కదా. సరే ఫైన్. Can you see this one? Yes? Are you able to see this? Now see here, you have drawn the data like this. A linked list is represented as a box, right? It consists of data field, it consists of address field, right? So here you are going to store a linked list in the form of a structure. So what do you mean by a structure? What is a structure? Structure and unions ayayi kada. So what is a structure? Is it a heterogeneous collection or a homogeneous collection of data? Last boy, white shirt, please stand up. Yeah. What do you mean by a structure? Be fast. What is a structure? How many marks did you get in your C programming? Huh? You failed? If you sleep like this, you will fail in this also. You please stand and listen to the class, right? So what is a structure? A structure is nothing but a heterogeneous collection of data elements. So what do you mean by heterogeneous? It can store different types of data. So what are the different data types? You have to be interactive. Int, float, char, double, long double, short int, all these are called as the different data types. So here when you write a structure for one element, you can store different types of data inside it. That is called as a structure, right? To save a memory linked list, a linked list, you are using struct. The data type to store a structure is struct. Struct node. So what is a node? Normally we call this as a node. Okay, now when you draw trees, we call this as a node. When you represent it as a linked list, we call this as a node. Clear? Struct node, open brackets. So what you are storing here? You are storing the data here as data, some data. So I am storing it as integer type. By default, we store it as integer data type. Or am I right? Char data. Is that clear? So here it can store int data, char data, float data, any type of data types. Clear? Next, struct space node. This node is pointing to the next field. Clear? Struct space node is a pointer to the next field. Clear? So this is the basic structure of a linked list using structures. Is this clear? So the syntax for struct is close brackets semicolon. By default, whenever you represent a node, you have to represent it like this. Clear? Write on. Now put on, write on the unit 2. Write on linked list. Linked list. I want everyone to write just write down the definition of that. A linked list is A linear data structure, a linked list is a linear data structure which does not store the data in contiguous. Contiguous means what? Continuous. In contiguous memory locations. Which does not store the data in contiguous memory locations. To represent a linked list, we use structures. To represent a linked list, we use structures. The button. See, how are you looking? So what is a structure? Write down. A structure is a heterogeneous collection. A structure is a heterogeneous collection of data elements A linked list is represented as, just put down this one. A linked list is represented as these boxes where the first box is called as a head, where here the first box is called as head and the last one is called as tail, this one. So here we call this one as a node, N-O-D-E, node. Here the first box contains data, the next box contains next or address. This one will contain next or address. Now for this representation, the programming part, write down, the syntax to declare a structure is write down, struct space node, this one, struct space capital N. Always to define a node using capital letters. Struct space node, open bracket, int data or char data, or float data. Next, struct space next star next. Struct space node star next is a pointer to the next field. And close brackets, put a semicolon. Next, write down types of linked lists. Types of linked lists. There are 3 types of linked lists. There are 3 types of linked list. Single linked list, single linked list. Second one is double linked list. And the third one is circular linked list. Over. Now write down the operations of linked list. What do you mean by operations? Operations and enti? What work they do? For example, what are your operations if I ask? What do? You study, you write, you watch TV, you watch some videos, right? So those are your operations, right? So what are the operations of linked list? It does different types of operations, but we require only the major 4. One is to traverse. Traverse means what? What do you mean by traverse? Visiting every node at least once. That is called as traversing the tree. For example, yes. For example, if I ask you, how do you go from here to your house? You say, I go by bus. Right? What are the different stops? Right? In that, what do you say? From here, I go to the next stop, that name. Means what? You are visiting that node exactly once, at least once. Right? Next, you go to the next node. That is called as traversing the tree. Clear? So, traversal means what? To traverse all the nodes one after the other. Means what? After visiting the first node, only then I can visit the second node, next the third node. Right? Second one is insertion. So, what do you mean by insertion? I am adding a new element into the list. Right? After adding, what do? You delete a node. We will see all that now. Next is search. To search for an element in that complete node structure. Clear? So, write down. The different operations of linked list are traversing the list. Simple terms you write down. Traversing the list. That is visiting the node one by one. Second one is insertion. You know what is insertion? Just write down insertion, deletion, and the last one is search. No, you are not copying anything. Once I tell you, you have to write. First one is what? Traversal. Second one is insertion. Insertion means what? Add a node to the given list. Deletion means what? Deleting a node. Search means what? Searching for a node in the list. That's it. Simple terms. Right. Now, the first type of list is single linked list. So, already you have drawn the node of a single linked list. So, how do you declare a node? If I ask you explain the declaration of a node, how do you declare it? Yes? How do we declare a node? Not all. This guy. Yeah, please stand up. Nuve, nincho. How do you declare a node? Just now I said, how do you declare a node? Node declaration. Tondar cheppali. Em chestunnav? You are simply writing, that's it. You don't want to listen. Yes, how do you declare a node? No, not all. That guy. Please stand up. Yeah, how do you declare a node? Ninchol tondarga. What is the structure to declare a node? Struct. Tondar cheppali. Rasava structure node rasava? Node structure rasava leda? Yeah? Please write it. Sit down. Sit down. Last one, you also sit down. So how do you declare a node structure? Struct space node, right? Open brackets, data type, some data name. Next, that data is going to point to the next field. Clear? Close it with a semicolon because that is the syntax for a structure. Clear? So the same thing here. We don't want any theory part, right? We are going to the next one. Yeah. Simple. This one is the simple example. See here. You are taking a node, a variable, some other variables, address. We'll see that again. So this is the node structure. You have already written this. Clear? Now see here. Not this. Okay. Let us go to this one. So how are the different operations performed on a single linked list? So I said you are having traversal. So traversal is common for everything, right? Second one is insertion. So in a single linked list, there are three types of insertions. One is, here if you are having this diagram, so if I am adding the element at the beginning of the list. One is what? Adding a element at the beginning of the list. So this was head. This will move to a normal node, not a head. The first one which you will add will become the head. Clear? Second one is adding the data at the end of the list. Means what? The tail node will become non-tail node and the new node will become the tail node, right? And the third one is you are going to add the data into some position, somewhere in between the list. These are the three types of insertions. Write down. Insertion is of three types. Insertion is of three types. The first one is insertion at the beginning of the list. Insertion at the beginning of the list. Second one, insertion at the end of the list. Insertion at the end of the list. Third one, insertion at a particular position. Insertion at a particular position in the list. Now just we'll put some small diagrams, then we'll go to the programming part. Clear? So what do you mean by insertion at the beginning of the list? I just told. First one was the head node. Okay na? Ee head node non-head node aipotundi. Right? The new node will become the head node. Clear? So this will become the first node. This is the second node, third, fourth. Okay? Now we will see the structure, how to create a new node. Okay, just put down this diagram. First make this as the head node. Put this diagram. Take some numbers there. Take some set of nodes. I want everyone to write. Take some set of nodes. So first, this node is called as a head node. Make this as the non-head node. Ante non-head ante just put a cross mark. Put it as a cross mark and make the new node as the head node. So this will become the new node. So here this will become head node. And this will point to the next variable. Clear? Completed? Yes? Shall we go to the programming part? You are not executing now. First, let us complete the complete program. డౌన్లోడ్ కావాలి ఇదే డౌన్లోడ్ అయ్యింది కదా. Now just see here. Only till that part we will do that one. You are not executing now. Just listen how are we going to write the program. Right? You use hash include stdio.h for what? What do you mean by hash in the program? Why should I take only hash? Why not plus, minus, into, divide? Tell me fast. Why hash? చెప్పాలి. hash include stdio.h మీరు ఫస్ట్ టైంలో కూడా చేశారు. Yes or no? C programming లో చేశారు లేదా? So what is hash in, hash include? Yeah? What is the use of hash? You are not at all interactive. First write down hash include stdio.h. In that, what is the use of hash? Yeah? Chappu. It is a preprocessor directive. For example, మీ మొబైల్లో ఒక ఫోన్ నెంబర్ కావాలంటే ఏం చేస్తారు? కాంటాక్ట్స్లోకి వెళ్ళి నెక్స్ట్ అందులోకి వెళ్తాం, ఎందులో ఆ లిస్ట్లోకి వెళ్తాం, రైట్? సో దిస్ కాంటాక్ట్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ హ్యాష్ హియర్. ఎగ్జాంపుల్, హ్యాష్ మీన్స్ వాట్? A preprocessor directive which moves you to that particular set of input statements, whatever inbuilt statements are there. Clear? So write on hash is a preprocessor. Pre. Hash is a preprocessor directive. Now, you know what is include, right? What about this one? Less than and greater than symbol. ఎందుకు యూజ్ చేస్తారు? Why? What do you mean by that? అది తీసుకోవాలా కంపల్సరీ? లేకపోతే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వదు ఆ ప్రోగ్రామ్. Why? What do you call them as? They are called as anchor tags. Right on. They are called as anchor tags. Means what? All the files which are there in the standard input output header files, please include them అని చెప్తున్నాం మనం. Clear? We will use the same anchor tags in web technologies. Okay. So these two symbols are called as anchor tags because I want the preprocessor to include all the elements inside whatever is there in stdio.h. stdio means what? Standard input output. H means what? Header files. What are the different standard input output header files? Cheppandi simple. Printf, scanf, inga getc, putc, gets, right? Puts. All these are the different header files. Next, to execute this program, okay, to execute any data structure program, you require hash include stdlib.h. What is stdlib? Library files, right? Library header files. Put down those two symbols, write down those two statements. Next ఏం చేస్తున్నాము? మనం ఒక నోడ్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, రైట్? ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటింగ్ an empty node first. I am creating this node. Okay, so this is called as a node. So to create this node, this is the structure. Okay, struct node, it contains two fields. One is data field, the other one is address field or next field. So ఇది రాగానే ఇట్లా పాయింట్ అవుతుంది. So this is the structure for that. Clear? Next, what do I say? Struct node star head is equal to null. So what did you do first? ఎక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలి? Yeah. Now see here, struct node Please don't put it. Okay. Okay, fine. Now see here, you have created a new node, an empty node is created, right? దీనికి మనం ఏం వాల్యూ ఇవ్వలేదు. A node is created, so I am writing by default, this is the head node. ఏదైతే నోడ్ క్రియేట్ చేశానో by default that will become the head node. So this head node will automatically point to null. Means what? It is storing null value. Clear? This is the part for declaring a new node. అంటే నోడ్ క్రియేట్ అయిపోయింది. నోడ్కి ఒక పాయింటర్ క్రియేట్ అవ్వాలి. ఎక్కడికి పాయింట్ చేస్తుంది, రైట్? సో struct node. This is the node star head. So the first node what is created, it is a head node. It is pointing to null, nothing. Clear? So this line means this. Next what you are doing, insertion. Insertion at the beginning of the list. So what do you do here? Do you remember functions? Functions concepts. So what do you do functions? You declare a function above the main part or below the main part, right? So here I am writing void insert beginning. Means what? This is the function to create a new node at the beginning of the list. Clear? Can you see this one? What do you mean by void? Chapali, what is void? Void main int main ante enti? Yes, that third one. Yes, please stand up, you only. Yeah, what do you mean by void? You sit. Void means what? What's the difference between int main and void main? Yes, be fast. Louder. Yes, anyone? Sit down. What do you mean by void? Void means empty. Empty, it does not return anything. Int means what? It returns an integer. Clear? So here what you are doing? I am creating a function of empty type to insert data at the beginning of the list. Clear? So here in the first list, what do? I add value. Clear? Idantha C programming related amma. Clear? So this is a function to add data at the beginning of the list. Inside that list I am adding value which is of integer data type. Clear? So how do you represent this symbol? This is one problem here again. Now see here, I have put this node, right? This contains data. So I am saying that this is integer type. Clear? Next, struct node, this new node which is created. Clear? You are allocating memory. How do you allocate memory to a node? Do you remember? Yes or no? What do you mean by malloc? What is malloc? Tondar cheppali. Yeah, stand up. What do you mean by malloc? You have done in C programming this one also. What do you mean by dynamic memory allocation? Yes. Do you remember dynamic memory allocation or no? Yes. మీరు రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వకపోతే చెప్పబుద్ధి కాదమ్మా. You have to respond. What do you mean by dynamic memory allocation?
Good morning. Good morning. Sorry, one more. Good morning. Not happy. Good morning. Okay, thank you so much. So, as you know that, so tomorrow we having a very important event will be going to be held in a Fab and Functional that we can call them as a spotlight program for all your over the seniors right now studying in our college that we can call them as the 22 batch, right? And not only that, who are the your super senior already left out 21 batch students who got selected in like a Accenture, some other companies. So we are going to be finishing the parents along with the your senior. Can we do that? Needed or not? I'm not getting you. Very important or not important? సో రేపు ఫ్యూచర్లో మీరు కూడా మీ మదర్ని ఫాదర్ని తీసుకొని వచ్చి ఫినిషేషన్ చేయాలా వద్దా? వినబడతలేదు. సీరియస్గా ఉన్నారా జోక్గా? ఓకే, సో I just want to introduce one of the my student proudly says that his name is Mr. Govind. Okay, so he was here to spend some time with you. Okay, so is Mr. Govind, as you know that. So before coming to the Microsoft, we work a lot of companies, and he was the one of the best teach to learn classes will be taken in a classes when the classwork is going on. Okay, so you can find out everything, you'll see each and everything, right? And he want to spend some time with you. Okay, it is not like a formal thing, it is not about the motivation, it is not about anything at all. Okay, I just asked my student, why I'm saying that my student again and again, I know he is one of the best, some subjects he has also taken here, okay, for the juniors when he was studying in engineering. Most of you here sitting here thought that taking out the 5 minutes, 10 minutes topic and teach to learn, what is it will going to be useful for us? Why we need that? What is the advantage of that? So most of you don't know that why we are introducing that program Teach to Learn. One, we want to, we should be fearless, should be very confident, right? First point, we want to make sure that you are fearless. Second, we want to make sure that confident. And third one, we want to all, each and everyone should be very good communicators. So ఈ మూడు ఉన్న తర్వాత చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఏంటంటే లీడర్షిప్ క్వాలిటీస్. లీడర్షిప్ లీడ్ చేయాలి, ఒక నలుగురితో మాట్లాడాలన్నా కూర్చోవాలన్నా ఏదైనా చేయాలంటే ఇట్స్ నాట్ దట్ మచ్ ఈజీ. ఓకే, ఈ 4 ఉన్న తర్వాత కూడా మన దగ్గర వి షుడ్ నీడ్ ఒక విషయం గురించి మనం మాట్లాడాలి అంటే వితౌట్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎనీ ఆఫ్ ది కంటెంట్ నాలెడ్జ్ లేకపోతే మనం మాట్లాడగలమా? మాట్లాడలేమండి. అంటే కంటెంట్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. అంటే విషయ పరిజ్ఞానం అని అంటారు తెలుగులో, అంటే దాని గురించి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కూడా తెలిసి ఉండాలి మనకి. సో మీరు అనేవారు ఎవరన్నా ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్న వాళ్ళు లీనియర్ ఆల్జిబ్రా మీద కానీ ఇంట్రడక్షన్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ కానీ దేని మీదైనా ఎప్పుడైనా ఒక 5 minutes వచ్చి మీరు క్లాస్ ఇక్కడ మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్తో మాట్లాడితే అది జీవితంలో మళ్ళీ మీరు ఎప్పటికీ కూడా మర్చిపోరండి. అది దట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, సో ఆన్ బిహాఫ్ యూ I'll welcome you and honorable be requesting Mr. Govind should be come forward here, please. Join with us. Right now, he is working in a Microsoft Pune location. Okay, he is going to be share his experience with you. Okay, so have any queries, any questions, you can ask us. No problem, right? Thank you. Thank you, Govind, all through you coming here to spend your valuable time and spending with your juniors also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me to the college. It's a great opportunity for me to step back into my college again. So let me introduce myself to you. This is Govind Konnu. and currently I'm working in Microsoft as an TSC. And previously, I'm having an experience in few more companies, as Sir mentioned in Seok, Sutherland, and Genpact. I worked in 3 companies, and this is my 4th company in 1 year itself. So in my college, I was a member in IKSC for 2 long years, and I was tech to learn lecturer for 2 years. Uh, Actually, ma'am also know we are like colleagues. She used to maths lecturer. I used to be her colleague. We used to deal classes. I'm grateful to see her again here, and yeah, I know she's a good faculty in mathematics. And then I was teaching for 2 years for my juniors, first years and second years, up to my third year. And good. This is too much, okay? I know most of you will clear, and yeah, okay. And you're scared about your result. If I raise my hand, if I lost the subject, my friends will definitely tease me that on the day you raise your hands, why you have this subject, right? Don't think like that, and don't make the subject as your burden. Okay? I think you are having 5 subjects in every semester, right? So if you leave your subject, it will be a burden. Like it will be mixed with the next semester. Sometimes you have to write the 2 subjects in one day. It is very difficult, guys. If you have a math subject now, you have to write again and again. Like everyone will think maths is a difficult subject, as I'm also a maths lecturer in the college, and I cleared all the subjects in one attempt. That's not a matter. We know there will be you're just first year, right? By the end of the second year, there will be legends who will be clearing 2, 3, 4 units in a night. It is a ongoing talent for engineering students, but don't mean to be like that. Okay? The first thing is clear your subjects at every semester. That is the only gift that you can, that is the least gift that you can give to yourself. Because you will be stuck like there. Oh, I'm having subjects. I need to clear, I need to clear. You'll have fear. Your friends will speak like that. Some of you will be there, all clears. You will see yourself as a different person. So, clearing subject is so easy. Okay? Clearing subject is so easy. You need to be focused on the subject. Just clear that, okay? And the most important thing for the placements is learning the basics, mastering them. So first, you should be very good in your basics. Just learn this much. Learn that perfectly. You don't need to learn this much. Okay? Learn this much. Learn this much today. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you will be grateful after 1 year if you're doing daily. For example, your first year, right? I know. Let's assume so many of you are not yet started anything. Okay? Not yet started anything. Programming language or any development skills, anything. Okay? Just try to build a path. Try to start. Learn the basics of any programming language that suits you. The main thing you need to do is the most important thing, research. Don't trust blindly. Research. We have a lot of things now. Before 5 years, the network is slow. AI is not there. Resource is very less. But today, if you open Instagram, we'll see the reel. We just comment link, we'll get a lot of resources. That fast. And if you just go to the YouTube, we'll get a lot of resources. Everyone is aiming the best. So research a lot when you're starting something. Research a lot. I'm saying you, this will be most useful thing. Research a lot when you're starting something. And first thing you need to do is start a programming language. Okay? Start a programming language and learn the basics perfectly. Learn the basics perfectly, and then jump into intermediate skills. And then eventually the hard skills, the complex part. And start doing DSA. I'm saying you again, start doing DSA. DSA is not that complex. Okay? DSA is not that complex. You people will think DSA is complex. Just try to do one problem a day or one problem per 2 days, but master it. I'm saying you, when I'm in third year, I started doing that. I regret it in the 4th year itself. And most of my friends, I don't want to get their names and I don't want to discuss this, but they didn't start it after final year also. I know, they're just calling me and they're just saying this thing. I just wasted. I'm not saying just spend all the time with the books only. We have a lot of activities here, and I heard that 3 to 5 you're having gaming periods, right? You can chill there, and our college will provide activities also, I think so, right? Fun activities and all. Of course, they'll provide according to their schedules. Enjoy your time, give your...
Ask one question.
Sure.
Which activity improve yourself in this college and take this position?
So, as ma'am asked me, which opportunity, which opportunity...
Yeah, say so much of activities you will
Yes, yes. So, ma'am is asking which opportunity make me to stand here. I can say there are several activities, but the most important is tech to learn. That means the faculty will complete their lecture within 45 minutes or 30 minutes in the stage, and they'll pick or someone is having an interest, they can come here and they can say whatever they understand here. I'm saying you that will be the best thing I have ever done. I done that in my first year. I was so shy to be in the stage in my first year. Of course, it will be everyone. Not everyone will be extrovert and can come here and speak a lot. I know that. So I used to come here. On the first day, I fumbled a lot. Like I was just, I know I can do something, but as I can stand here, all of them are my friends with whom I spent 4 or 5 months. But by seeing their eyes, I can't do anything. On the second day, on the third day, I was about to do something. You know, in the second year itself, just I completed my first year. I came here in 2021 December, and by August 2022, I was faculty for the juniors. Okay? So I teach them mathematics. I used to teach 4 sections, 6 hours a day. Okay? I'm not saying everyone to be a faculty, but be confident. You need to be speak here. As I told you, right, I was working in Sutherland and Genpact before. Yeah, TTL is definitely helps you. The first thing is, not everyone will be so good in the communication with me. Everyone will fumble, because this is our second language or third language, right? So there will be grammatical mistakes and everything, but you should be perfect in doing something. I'm saying, right, you should be good in doing something, okay? And be consistent while doing. So just have a chance here. If I think you're having DSA class, right? You're having DSA class. So after completion of the class, take the initiative, any one of you. Just come here and introduce yourself. And if you want to say something, you can say something. Just explain any one of the topic just for 2 minutes. Just for 2 minutes or 1 minute. Explain yourself. Just understand about yourself and try to explain something. I'm saying you, it will definitely help you, because in the time of interviews, the interviewers will come. If it is one person, then it is fine. We can look into them and we can answer some of the questions. The thing is, we should know what are the answers of the questions. The first thing. So not everyone will be that brilliant, right? Answering every question is not that easy. So you should have that management skills. Like you should speak with them. For example, they ask me some questions. For example, they ask me, what is an array? What is an array? I don't have any knowledge about array. I'll say them, actually I'm not into the topic, but I'll definitely look into the topic. I was not clear about that. I'll get back to you. It is so good than being silent, right? Being silent is like you don't know anything, but managing like that, he'll push back to another question. And the most important point I want to give you is, interview is not like answering the questions. It is like just communicating. So the first thing you need to do is, I'm begging you, just start a programming language, learn the basics, go into the intermediate skills, start doing DSA. Aim for one program a day, or 5 programs a week, 4 programs at least, even odd, small programs. And then get into some websites like LeetCode, HackerRank, do small things. Because I'm saying you, after 1 year or 2 years, you will be the standout in the class, you will be standout in the interviews. Some interviews is like, they'll just ask what you know. Just describe about that. You will introduce yourself, that my name is Govind, I'm studying 4th year in the KIET college, and I'm currently pursuing AIDS, Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, and I'm interested in Python, HTML, CSS. You'll say like that. He will tell you, what are the skills exactly you have. At that time, you need to elaborate yourself, that these are the things I'm good at, because they won't expect this much from a fresher. Okay, we are freshers, right? We'll just have college knowledge. So you should be you should be consistent. The first thing is start a programming language. Okay, start doing DSA. After 1 year, you will definitely thank yourself, or else you will be regretted. At the end of the third year, you should get an internship. Okay, you should. The thing is, getting an internship is most difficult than getting a first job. Okay, it might be paid or unpaid. No worries. It should be like you're gaining some experience. Real-time experience is the most important thing. Just going into theories is not the thing. Practical knowledge is the most important thing that you will be doing in the future also. Just do the practice what you are doing. Okay, and that is the thing I want to say. And the most important thing is build connections. Open your LinkedIn accounts. I know everyone will have LinkedIn accounts, I think so. How many don't have LinkedIns? I know everyone will have. Tailor your LinkedIn perfectly, add your skills, do some certifications. Everything will be, your friends will say, hey, those certifications are not that important. Nothing will be considered. You don't need to do anything. Bro, you need to do something. You will learn something from that. Understand? Add the certifications in your LinkedIn. And one of my friend, I don't want to get their name here, some company in Pune itself, they approach them in the LinkedIn, and they offered a job. Like, we are having a role in our company. We can see from our college. The most important thing is, I told you, right, I was participated in the Teach to Learn. When I was in the student in the first year and the second year, I used to come up at the stage. I was scared a lot. It is difficult to explain all the topics. I used to choose a topic. I used to learn that I just want to express myself, that I want to teach my friends something in the first year. Dean sir once saw me while I'm delivering a thing, and he called me and he told that you are doing very good. Can you be a faculty for the math subject for the juniors in your second year? That day turned a lot because teaching you a strength of 70 to 100 in my second year and third year career in the engineering, it helps a lot to me in the communication, in the leadership, and management also. I know everyone won't be focused in the class. I know everyone won't be focused in the class. Only 20 to 30% in you also are focused, and everyone are distracted. I know that. So managing all the things are the burden. So management skills, what Teach to Learn give me is management skills, leadership skills, communication skills, commanding skills. And other thing is leadership qualities, of course. And the other than this, we used to have hackathons, 24 hours hackathons. You know, in one of my interview, he asked me, I mentioned at the end of the resume, like I participated in so-and-so hackathons. He asked me that, what is this hackathon? Can you please describe this? I just described that for 5 to 7 minutes. He was impressed. The interviewer was impressed. So you are part of your team and your college is initiating these hackathons in your college itself. This is a great thing. Actually, these hackathons will be happen countrywide, college-wise, company-wise, not in every college. Okay? So I explained it briefly. And my role was something like front-end on that day, and I was not that good. But I mentioned that in my resume, I did so and so. Some of the seniors are there, faculty are there, guest faculty are there. They helped me to do some of the things. I just told him that I did this. They're so impressed. So you participated in 24 hours hackathon. It's a good thing. You learn something because getting an experience is the most important thing from getting a theory. Everyone can by heart that, okay? But gaining experience is a really important thing. As I'm saying you are in the first year, you will think you have a lot of time. Bro, I'm saying you, within a small snap, you will come to the fourth year. Semester, semester, mid semester. Don't pass like that, please. Don't pass like that. Just give 30% priority to your subjects, 30 to 40%. That's more than enough. I told them already. You just need to be pass the subject or having good marks in the subject. That's enough. Don't be burdened, okay? Like what happened means with our batch, exams are like for 2 days. My parallels used to write 4 exams, bro. M1 in the morning, M3 in the afternoon. Next, PNS in the next day morning, OR in the next day afternoon. It's hell actually. In different colleges, they need to travel from ideal to PIDA, PIDA to ideal. It's not happening actually because you should at least give 3 to 4 days for one unit to cover. Especially some subjects will be there, 1 or 2, as you are saying, tough subjects. So don't make that burden. I'm begging you, don't put backlogs in your pockets. No need, bro. You don't. No way. I'm saying you right. You might be feeling difficulty now, like we are having so many subjects on the game. But no worries, because 1 month before your semester, I'm saying you, if you focus on the subjects, you will be excelling. But I'm promising you, most of you won't do that. 1 month before your semester, you need to start and you will clear all your subjects. That's more than enough. Just be relaxed or start 2 months before also. It is so easy. It depends on your memory power and your understanding skills. I'm saying you, I can give a suggestion, start 1 month or 1 month, 15 days. It will be more than enough. Just cover the units clearly and write down in our examinations. Everyone will say, JNTK board is tough. We write everything, but the examiner failed us. It is all trash, okay? It is all trash. You have to be perform well. You know, some of our friends are thinking like we'll fail these subjects, but they are passed in those subjects. On that day, they will prize the JNTK. I'm saying you, okay? Don't make the burden of the subjects. Just clear the subjects and move them away. That's all. If you have any tough subjects, like you're thinking tough, like maths, DS, and M3, PNS, some of the subjects are there in our end when I'm pursuing my degree. So just clear them and focus on your career, build a good roadmap, and just learn something every day, learn something, just learn this much. Just try to implement something on the day. This is the thing I can say you, because you're just starting in your first year, right? You're thinking you have a lot of time, but no. You have to land a internship in the end of the second year or in the starting of the third year. Focus on the internship, build good projects. Don't directly copy from the ChatGPT or cloud. We have very good AI supports for now. We can just build anything now. But try to understand what you are doing. Just learn what you are doing. This much also, it is enough. If you paste 1,000 lines of code, that is trash. If you just learn 10 lines, what is happening? I'm not saying you to by heart what is there. You know how the interviews will be going on when we are expressing, while explaining the projects, they'll ask you to open your laptop. For example, I have A by B testing analysis, and I have 2-3 projects in my bin, which I mentioned in my resume. They just told me, just open your laptop and open your projects and just explain me what is the logic and what is the first line and what is the meaning of that and what is the meaning of this. You need to be perfect in that. That's enough. Yeah, I'm doing this, I done this. As we are part of 4 members in my project, this is my part. And we just need to explain, we just need to be expressive. I'm saying you, if you are clear for expressive and explaining the things, you will be excellent in anything. You just need to open your mouth. You just need to open your mouth and say something. Not everyone is perfect, bro, here. You will be perfect by practicing the things, by doing the things. And these are the same words will come from your mouth after the 4th year. You will have experience. Currently, you don't have experience, I'm saying you. After gaining experience, these are the same things you will be getting from your mouth. I hope you will do good. Thank you so much.
Rohit, so I hope you understood that only simple concept is that saying that be happy, enjoy yourself, provide everything. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
మేడం చిన్న రిక్వెస్ట్, కొంచెం స్లోగా అంటే చెప్పండి, పిల్లలు అడగరు, ఫాస్ట్.
Yes, let us get back to our this one. ఇవాళ ఎక్కడ అవుతుంది మ్యామ్? అవ్వదు. స్టార్ట్ చేయడమే లేట్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను. 9:40కో 9:30కో స్టార్ట్ చేశాను.
అంటే థియరీ వీళ్ళకి ఎక్కువగా అయిపోయి ఉంది.
అదే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ చెప్తున్నాను, ప్రోగ్రామింగే చెప్తున్నాను, కానీ ఎవరు ఏం ఆన్సర్ చేయట్లేదు.
ఏఐడి అంటే ఈ బ్రాంచ్కి అంతగా అవ్వలేదు మ్యామ్. లింక్డ్ లిస్ట్ ఎప్పుడో 1 మంత్ బ్యాక్ ఏమో ఒక గెస్ట్ వచ్చి చెప్పారు అంతే, ఇంకా తర్వాత ఏం అవ్వలేదు.
డైరెక్ట్ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ అంటే నేనైతే ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ చెప్తున్నాను, విత్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ చెప్తున్నాను. లేవు చూద్దాం. Yes, now please put everything aside. All of you. First no mobile, laptop close check. Yeah. 12:30 or 1:30? Yes, now please be quiet. Vinalama. See, when he was speaking, no, at the back, no one was listening, first point. First of all, you need to be interactive. When anyone wants to speak to you, if you are interactive only, the other person will be interested to speak. First point. That is, you are lagging here. You are doing your own works. That boy was doing his own work. Here, that one student was doing his own work. Some are seeing outside. One day you come and stand here and you tell about yourself. When no one listens, how will you feel like talking? Once you come and stand here, if others are not listening to you, you see how you will feel. So listen, take care of that. Listen to what everyone speaks, because you will learn something from everyone, not all from everyone. At least you do not have the confidence of saying, raising your hands properly, saying that you will pass in all the subjects. You are not confident on yourself also. Huh? First of all, you should be confident on what you are doing. Right? So back to our program. I said, what do you mean by dynamic memory allocation? What is dynamic memory allocation? There are 4 cases when you are doing dynamic memory allocation. Memory is allocated dynamically. Dynamic ante enti? Yeah. For example, I say there are 60 students in my class. నేను 60 chairs వేసాను. Right? 60 students కూర్చోవచ్చు. That is called as static. Clear? There are multiple chairs and there are some number of students coming randomly. That is called as dynamic. అంటే chairs empty ఉండొచ్చు or students may be more. Okay? It has to be able to accept that concept. Means what? Whenever someone is coming, that in that programming you have to understand that concept. When something is coming inside, the changes which are done, that is called dynamic. 60 students ఉన్నారు, 60 chairs ఉన్నాయంటే static అది. ఇంకా మనం దాన్ని చేంజ్ చేయలేము. Right? So either this side or that side, if it keeps changing, that is called as dynamic. So linked list follows dynamic memory allocation. Clear? So this dynamic memory allocation is of 4 types. What are the 4 types? Malloc, that is memory allocation. Calloc, that is contiguous memory allocation. Realloc means what? Reallocation. And the 4th one is free. Means simple example, you are having your mobile. Remember every concept using some examples. Don't study blindly. You are having your mobile. I say I have 16 GB mobile. Means what? The space allocated to my mobile is 16 GB. Take that as an example. That is one block. Okay na? Ee block of space lo నేను ఎంత డేటా పంపిస్తానో అంత బ్లాక్ మొత్తం అది యూటిలైజ్ చేస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐఎమ్ సెండింగ్ 10 GB ఆఫ్ డేటా, రిమైనింగ్ 6 GB ఈజ్ ఫ్రీ. ఆ 6 GB అనేది నేను వేరే వాటికి వాడకుండా ఉంటే దాన్ని మ్యాలాక్ అంటారు. ఈజ్ దట్ క్లియర్? మ్యాలాక్ టేక్స్ ఫిక్స్డ్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ స్పేస్, that remaining space cannot be utilized by anyone. Is that clear? Calloc means what? It is going to divide them into different smaller blocks. నాకు ఎంత డేటా కావాలో అంతనే యూటిలైజ్ చేస్తాను, మిగతా డేటా వేరే మెమరీ కోసం అలొకేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఫర్ ఇమేజెస్, ఫర్ వీడియోస్, ఫర్ ఆడియోస్, సో ఆన్. రైట్? నెక్స్ట్, వాట్ ఈస్ రీఅలొకేషన్? So here I said, for example, I am using WhatsApp in 16 GB. Example I am saying. 16 GB is entirely for my WhatsApp. Right? నేను ఇప్పుడు 10 GB నే వాడాను, ఇంకా 6 GB స్పేస్ ఉంది. ఆ బ్లాక్ అనేది యాక్టివ్ కావడానికి రియలైజింగ్ దట్ స్పేస్ ఫర్ ద రిమైనింగ్ వర్క్, ఈవెన్ ఫర్ malloc అండ్ ఫర్ calloc. ద 4th వన్ ఇస్ వాట్? ఫ్రీ. ఫ్రీ అంటే ఏంటి? మనం యూటిలైజ్ చేసిన డేటాని, స్పేస్ని మళ్ళీ ఫ్రీ చేయడం ఫ్రీ. క్లియర్? వేరే వాటికి యూజ్ చేస్తాం. సో హియర్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు యూజ్ malloc, which is called as memory allocation. Clear? So here what you are doing, for this node, for the node what we have taken, you are allocating memory size of the structure node. Node ki em size ichcham manamu? Int data ni ichcham. What is the size of integer data type? What is the size of integer data type? How much is the size? I said you have to be interactive. 2 bytes of data, right? So here I am writing size of structure node means what? 2 bytes of data space is allocated for my memory location, right? So in the diagram, so here in the diagram what do? You allocate the memory. For this one, I said address is there. Address is allocated, right? So this is the first variable which is having head. So if I say I am allocating 5, The memory size is what? It is of integer data type. So, for example, if this is stored at 1000th location, next after 2 bytes, I am going to store another variable at 1002 location. Okay, na? Integer means what? Here this is stored at 1000th location. After 2 bytes of space, you are storing the next variable. In between, what will happen? This data is stored that entire space. Is that clear? So, ee memory allocate cheyadaniki ee statement use chestunam. This is the syntax for allocating memory, that is by using malloc. So, what is that? Struct node star new node. Ante pratisari nenu new node create chestunnanu, right? Every time I create the node, this is going to allocate memory to that, right? Malloc size of that structure node. Clear? So, first concept we have done, declaring a structure. Next you have created a head, right? Next you are allocating memory to the node. That is when you are inserting at the beginning of the list. Clear? Write down this one. Now here, already you have written this. So this is the part of your program. Part of your program. We will continue like that. Last lo meer execution cheyandi. Clear? So this is the node structure you have already written. Right? Rasaru kada idi? Yes or no? See, some are saying no. This is the header files. This is the node structure declaration. Clear? This is allocating head. This single at the last I'll ask one of them to come and explain this program step by step. Idi ardham avutayi meeku double linked list vastundi, circular linked list is also easy if you understand this single program. Done? Next, write down. This is the comment section, you know that, right? This backslashes is the comment section. You are inserting at beginning of the list. దానికి ఏం చేస్తున్నాము? Void, right? Insert beginning. That is a function name. It is having integer value, right? ఇక్కడ రాసుకోండి. Allocating memory to the node. Here, this means allocating memory. If I am going fast, you please tell me. Okay. You are allocating memory to the node. Done? అమ్మా అబ్బాయి ఎవరు? ఈ క్లాసేనా? అలా ఆయన ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు అక్కడ? Completed? Shall we go to the next point? అయిందా లేదా? See, if you are interacting, we will complete fast. Only then you can go for your lunch. మీరు ఎంతవరకు ఇంటరాక్ట్ అవ్వరో అంతవరకు నేను చెప్తాను, నో ప్రాబ్లం. టిల్ 3:30 I can continuously tell. If you are having that patience, you sit, you can enjoy. Clear? Done? Completed? Now let us go to the next concept. This is the continuation of the program I said. Next, so here, listen. So what did you do here? I had the node, empty node, right? I have created null. I have marked it as head. I have marked the pointer. Memory is allocated to this node. ఇప్పుడు memory ఎలా allocate అవుతుంది? I said integer, it is allocating memory. For example, in your mobile, I am taking a selfie. అది ఎక్కడ వెళ్ళి స్టోర్ అవుతుంది? మనకు తెలుసా? తెలీదు. ర్యాండమ్గా స్టోర్ అవుతుంది, అంతేనా? నేను ఇప్పుడు ఫోటో తీసుకున్నాను, ఎక్కడ స్టోర్ అవుతుంది? ఇమేజెస్లో. ఏ పొజిషన్లో స్టోర్ అయిందనేది మనకు తెలుస్తుందా? ప్లేస్ అదర్ దాన్ ఇమేజ్. ఐఎమ్ హ్యావింగ్ 16 GB మొబైల్. ఎక్కడ ప్లేస్ అయిందంటే ఎక్కడ చెప్తారు మీరు? కెన్ యూ ఫైండ్ అవుట్? యూ కెనాట్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్. సో హియర్ టు ఫైండ్ అవుట్ దట్ లొకేషన్ యూ ఆర్ యూజింగ్ what? Pointer. Clear? So here I am writing this as this node is stored at 1000 location. The next node will be stored at compulsory it will store at 1002 location. Again the next node will store at 1004 location. ఇప్పుడు empty nodes create అయిపోయాయి. Clear? Hello? You are not seeing outside. Otherwise I'll make you sit there and you have to see inside. Next, new node implies data is equal to what? Value. So where are you storing value? Here. Clear? Next, new node implies next is equal to which one? Head. Means what are you doing here? The next pointer of this is the head which is pointing to the next pointer. Is that clear? Means what? Whenever I am adding a new node, where am I adding the new node? ఎక్కడ యాడ్ చేస్తున్నాను? Beginning node, right? So this was the head. When I am adding a new node, what will happen? I am adding a new node here. So what will happen? This node head will become non-head and this one will become head. Is that clear? So these two lines represent that. And now this head is the new node. Means what? I have to allocate memory here, then I have to allocate data here, then the address will point to the next node. Clear? Write down these 3 points. New node implies data is equal to value. Give your mobile. Where is your mobile? Huh? Chupettu. What are you doing down then? Huh? ఎందుకు వస్తుంది రింగు? ఏం చెప్తున్నాను నేను? అర్థమవుతుంది ఏమన్నా? ఈ ఓవర్ యాక్షన్ చేయొద్దు. రైట్ ఆన్ దిస్ వన్. మళ్ళీ ఇంకోసారి ఎవరి ఫోన్ రింగ్ అవ్వద్దు, ఏమవ్వద్దు చెప్తున్నా నేను. ఎస్. నౌ ప్లీజ్ బీ క్వైట్. సో వాట్ ఆర్ డూయింగ్ హియర్? న్యూ నోడ్ ఇంప్లైస్ డేటా ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు వాల్యూ. New node implies next is equal to head. The new node will become the head node. Clear? Then close the bracket. This is the part of the program. Ayipenda? Shall we go to the next point? So every time I need to draw the diagram. Next, what you are doing? Beginning ayipindi. Same thing I am going to add at the ending of the list. So what am I doing here? Adoka separate function, idoka separate function, right? Insert at end. So what am I doing here? Void function name. What are you giving here? Int value only. Clear? Struct node, new node. So every time you are creating a node, you are going to allocate the memory to that node. Clear? Beginning add చేసాము, ఇప్పుడు ending కూడా add చేయాలి. Clear? So the same structure you are taking. So here you write struct space node star temp is equal to head. Now listen. So what are you doing here? I have created a node. Clear? This was head node, right? Next I have created another node. Again I have created another node. Clear? Now what am I doing here? Void insert ending. I am allocating memory to the node. So a new node is created again. Clear? Next, struct space node star temp. Temp means what? Temp ante enti? Temporary variable. Clear? So what am I doing here? By default, when you are adding a list, this will be the temporary variable. I am making this as the head node. Clear? నెక్స్ట్ నేను ఎప్పుడైతే ఎండింగ్కి యాడ్ చేస్తుంటానో ఈ టెంప్ అనేది ఇక్కడికి వస్తుంది. ఇట్ మే బి హెడ్ నోడ్, ఇట్ మే నాట్ బి హెడ్ నోడ్. క్లియర్? సో ద ఫస్ట్ నోడ్ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ బి ద హెడ్ నోడ్, ద లాస్ట్ నోడ్ విల్ ఆల్వేస్ బి ద tail node. So why am I taking a temporary as head? Because this may be the new head node or it may be the internal node, not a head node. Is that clear? Next. Same thing, new node implies data is equal to value, new node implies next is equal to null. Next what you are doing? See here, if head double equal to null means what? Left side is equal to right side, means what? Head does not store any value, head is equal to new node, means what? So here I have created this node, this is the new node, this is the head node, head is double equal to null అంటే ఏంటి దేనికి పాయింట్ అవ్వకపోతే means what it is pointing to nothing, so this new node is called as the head node. So every time again you will go to this function, again create a node, create a new node. Clear? This will become null, that will remain head. Clear? So this is the part for insertion at ending of the list. Clear? So write down this part. Write down void, write down insertion at end, insertion at end. There you write down void insert end, void insert end, int value. Why only int value? You can take char value, float value, anything. Clear? Next, struct node space star new node is equal to struct node malloc size of the structure node. Over. Next, struct node star temp is equal to head. Done? Next, what do you write? New node implies data is equal to value. Next, new node implies next is equal to null. If head double equal to null, if head double equal to null, open brackets, head is equal to new node. Next is return function. Yes. Who is that? Over. Next one, write on while. While, yes, be quiet. While temp implies next not equal to null. అంటే ఏంటిది? What is this? What do you mean by that? Yes? So here, this was the head node, right? This is null. So here, while this was temporary node also, while temp implies next not equal to null, so temporary will move to here. This temporary will point to the next node. Clear? Just put on this diagram also to the side. ఎప్పుడైతే null అవ్వదో temp is equal to temp implies next అంటే నెక్స్ట్ నోడ్కి temp అనే వాల్యూ వెళ్తుంది. Close bracket again. Completed? So this was temp implies next is equal to new node, close brackets. I'll show you this in the program. And close brackets again. Yes, stop talking, Amma, please. Next, what was the third insertion? At a particular position. Ekkada undachu? 0th position, 1st position, 2nd, 3rd, so on. Right? Example, let us go to this one first. This is little complicated. Listen here. మీకు అర్థమవుతే ఈజీగా రాయొచ్చు. Just listen. Void insert position. You are adding the function name. ఇదే ఎందుకు ఇవ్వాలంటే మీ ఇష్టమున్న నేమ్ ఇవ్వచ్చు. Right? For the other person to understand what you are doing, you are giving that name. Right? Function is insert position, int value, int position. అంటే ఏంటి? There is a node here and there. For example, I am having a set of nodes like this. నేను ఏమంటున్నానంటే this is 0, 1, 2. Right? I am telling please add a new node here. So where is the position I asked? I asked you to place it at the first position. Okay? ఈ వాల్యూని ఈ పర్టికులర్ పొజిషన్లో ప్లేస్ చేయమంటున్నాను. క్లియర్? సో హియర్ అగైన్ యూఆర్ అలొకేటింగ్ మెమరీ ఫర్ దిస్ న్యూ నోడ్. క్లియర్? నెక్స్ట్ స్ట్రక్ట్ స్పేస్ నోడ్ స్టార్ టెంప్ అంటే ఏంటి? దిస్ వాజ్ ద హెడ్ నోడ్. క్లియర్? నెక్స్ట్ దిస్ ఈస్ ద న్యూ నోడ్. Okay, I may ask you to insert a new node at the beginning some position, right? That will become the head node in case, right? Next, new node implies data is equal to 1. Just here, if position is equal to 1, 0th position, 1st position, 2nd position, new node implies next is equal to head. And enti? What do you say? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? What is the first position? First position means what? Beginning position I am saying. In case, if I am adding it at the beginning, the new node will become the head node. Else, so you are returning it, if it is this case. If it is not this case, what will you do? For int I, you know what is for? Syntax of for loop enti? Girls, that green dress girl, stand up. You, nincho. You only. What is the syntax for for loop? Green chunni, sorry. What is the syntax for for loop? Nuve amma, chappu. For loop syntax enti? For. Who will say the syntax of for loop? Sit down. What is the syntax of for loop? For initialization, test condition, increment or decrement, right? So what I am writing here? For int I is equal to 1 till the position minus 1. అంటే ఏంటి? ఇప్పటిదాకా నేను చూపించాను ఫస్ట్ 0 పొజిషన్, ఫస్ట్ పొజిషన్, సెకండ్ పొజిషన్ అని. సో హియర్ యూ ఆర్ టేకింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఫస్ట్ పొజిషన్, నాట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద 0th పొజిషన్. ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ ఫస్ట్, సెకండ్, థర్డ్. ఆ సెకండ్ ప్లేస్లోకి రావాలంటే ఏంటి? అక్కడి దాకా వెళ్ళి దీన్ని పక్కకు జరపాలి, రైట్? సో పొజిషన్ -1 అండ్ టెంపరరీ నాట్ ఈక్వల్ టు నల్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఆల్రెడీ మనం డేటా స్టోర్ చేసాం అలా. క్లియర్? టిల్ దేర్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ఇంక్రిమెంట్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ నోడ్ వాల్యూ. క్లియర్? నెక్స్ట్, టెంప్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు టెంప్ ఇంప్లైస్ నెక్స్ట్. సో వాట్ డూ యూ మీన్ బై దిస్? ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఐ హ్యావ్ టేకెన్ దిస్ నోడ్. I have taken this node. This is the first node already with some data. It is pointing to this. It is holding the address of which one? This is 6. Din address vachesi 1002. This address is 1000. Right? Now this is some 10. It is pointing to null. This is last node. Right? So here whose address it is storing? 1004th address will be stored here. Now I am saying add 7 in between them. So where will I go? For I is equal to 1, right? I less than position -1. Position ikkada second position. So దీని ఇటు జరిపి ఇక్కడ పొజిషన్ వస్తుంది. Till there you increment it. So here what you are doing? You are adding a new value 7. Next, this address was this one. So what will you do? You will add the new address what is here. For example, this is 1008 because it is added new one. That's why you say that it is not a contiguous memory location. Ardhamainda? 1000 is here, 1002 is here, 1006 is here and 8 is here. It is not stored contiguously. Clear? So what you are doing? I am putting this 1008 here, then this 1004th location here. For that you are writing this one, this particular concept. Ardhamainda? Next, similarly, if temp is equal to null, there is nothing, print invalid position, return. So there are three concepts here. One if it is a new node, right? One if it is already inserted, move the positions. And if the third one is there is no single linked list concept in this particular program. And inka start cheyaledu. Appudu idu vastundi concept, right? Next, till here you write down. Write down, insert at specific position. Insert at specific position. Void insert position. Void insert position. Int value. Amma? Till then you open your laptops. It does start executing the program. So insertion will be completed till here. Then we will do deletion. మీరు చేయాలి రాయాలి తొందరగా కానియండి. Those who have completed writing, open the laptop. In which one will you compile the program? DS Code. Okay, Visual Studio Code. Okay, you do it anywhere. Okay, Visual Studio Code or whatever it is. Run this program there. You can also run it in developer C++, right? You can run the program in that also. Write down this one. Int value comma int position. Yes, stop talking. That is int position. Again, open brackets. The structure is created for the node. Same line. అయిపోయిందా? Struct space node star temp is equal to head. అయిపోయిందా ఇది? Yes, I don't want any disturbance. Please be quiet. Next, new node implies data is equal to value. అయిపోయిందా? Next, add on. If position double equal to 1, ఏంటి? New node implies next is equal to head. Head is equal to new node. Next, return. Completed. Close brackets. ఏముంది ఇక్కడ? Return. అయిపోయిందా? Write down, for int I is equal to 1, I less than position minus 1, I less than position minus 1, and what do you mean by this and? Which operator it is? లాజికల్ అండ్ ఆపరేటర్. గుర్తుందా ఆపరేటర్స్? temp not equal to null, I plus plus. What do you mean by I plus plus? Which operator it is? Post increment operator. Next, temp is equal to, temp implies the next. Completed? If temp double equal to null, if temp double equal to null, printf invalid position, return close brackets. Now this one, just now I told you, how will you change the positions? Danikidi. New node implies next is equal to temporary implies next. Temp implies next is equal to new node. Ante enti? Address of the previous node will be posted forward, right? Just now I showed you in the form of a diagram, that one. Temp implies next is equal to new node, close brackets. Over. Next one, delete a node. Again, deletion is of three types. Deletion at the beginning, at the ending, at a specified position. Right? Same thing, you are writing the functions here. Void delete node, I will show you again in the form of a diagram completely. Void delete node, that particular value. So deletion కోసం మనకి ఎటువంటి మెమరీ అలొకేషన్ అవసరం లేదు, రైట్? సో వాట్ యు ఆర్ డూయింగ్ హియర్, struct space node start temp is equal to head, I'll show you this one, comma previous is equal to null. I'll show you how to do this one. What is that boy doing? This one ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, రాయట్లేదు. మళ్ళీ ల్యాప్టాప్ ఎందుకు ఓపెన్ చేసావు? చేస్తున్నావా, ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తున్నావా? లే, టైం పాస్ చేస్తున్నావాడా? ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తే ఫైన్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్, ఎస్ ప్లీజ్ బీ క్వైట్. నెక్స్ట్ రైట్ ఆన్, if head double equal to null, if head double equal to null, printf list is empty, printf list is empty, return and close brackets. So if it is not null, what you have to do? Write down, if temp implies data, endi? Are you small kids every time to tell someone or the other something? Or do you think this is time pass class? Where are you going? Hello, sit down. Sit down, I said. వేషాలు వేస్తున్నారా? This fellow. Write down, if temp implies data is double equal to value, Head is equal to temp implies next. Head equal to temp implies next. Free of the temporary variable. I just said what is free. You are freeing that memory. We will see again in the form of a diagram. Return close brackets. Over. Yes, please be quiet. See what are they doing? This guy, blue shirt. ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు ఇతను ల్యాప్టాప్లో ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు చూడు ఇక్కడ ముందు ల్యాప్టాప్ క్యాండిడేట్ ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు అతను చేస్తున్నాడా నెక్స్ట్ రైట్ ఆన్ సర్చింగ్ ఫర్ అ నోడ్ ఇన్ అ లిస్ట్ searching for a node in a list right on while temp not equal to null while temp not equal to null and temp implies data not equal to value previous is equal to temp previous equal to temp temp is equal to temp implies next అయిపోయిందా if yes if temp do you think you'll have small programs if temp double equal to null printf value not found return close brackets next previous implies next previous implies next is equal to temp implies next free of temp close brackets so insertion is done deletion is done searching is done display so I want to display the list how will you display void display that is also a function void display so there is nothing inside that means it has to display whatever is there in that list struct space node star temp is equal to head last one right you are writing you are listening my god great Einstein aitho next nuve next write down if temp double equal to null printf list is empty printf list is empty next return అయిపోయినా now while yes I don't want any sounds you are not small kids while temp not equal to null printf percentile d comma temp implies data this is data while temp not equal to null printf Percentile D implies temp implies data. Then you are having temp is equal to temp implies next. Temp equal to temp implies next. Close brackets. Printf null. Over. Now you are going to the main part of the program. These functions are execute in this one. So what you are doing here, just see. You are taking int main, you are adding the values at the beginning of the list, at the end of the list, at a particular position in the list. Clear? Then what you are doing here? You are printing that list. I am showing you, just a minute. And you are displaying that list, right? Then you are deleting in the main function. Printf, after deletion, you are displaying that list. You are returning 0. So when you are taking int main, you have to return 0. Otherwise, you will get error in your program. If you give void main, you did not give return 0. Clear? So if I go for this function, insert position and ekkadiki veltundi, aa program ekkadaithe function undo, aa part anedi run avutundi. Clear? To run that part, those are written above the main function. You already know what are functions. These are the modules which are written above the main function. So write down this one. Main function, int main. So you are adding an element at beginning. Any number of elements you can add. Ave values avasram ledu. Evana తీసుకోండి. పడుతుంది మ్యామ్, టైం పడుతుంది. ఎంత అంటే ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు వినేదాన్ని బట్టి. కోడింగ్ చెప్తే చాలా. వన్ అవర్ పడుతుంది. ఇన్సర్ట్ అయిపోయింది, డిలీట్ అయిపోయింది, డిస్ప్లే అయిపోయింది, సింగిల్ లింక్ లిస్ట్ అయిపోయింది, సర్క్యులర్. ఓవర్. Next, write down printf linked list. Yes, if you are talking, we will not complete the syllabus. Now it is up to you. Next, display. Delete node. So after deleting, you are displaying that list. So printf, after deletion, again you are displaying that list. After deletion, you are displaying that list. Return 0. Close brackets. Yes. Now just listen here. Aipenda? Yes or no? This you have to execute. After executing, you will get it like this. See here. First you have inserted 5. Printf percentile D implies an ichar kada. It will point to 10. This is pointing to 15. So on. The last one is null. I am deleting an element 20. After deletion, this is the answer. Right? So double linked list. So just let us complete single linked list in the form of a diagram. Listen carefully. Signal endama. Who is that stupid fellow? Yeah. Now listen here. What we have done till now, just here. First I have created an empty node. Okay. For this I am declaring the structure. So for this node I want a structure, that is it should hold data, it should hold address. Right? This will point to the next field. In the next concept, what did you do? You have added at the beginning of the list. When you are adding the data, మనం యాడ్ చేసినప్పుడల్లా కొత్త నోడ్ క్రియేట్ చేయాలి, రైట్? సో యు ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు క్రియేట్ అ నోడ్. ఫర్ దిస్ ఐ am allocating memory. Clear? So when I am allocating, this is first position, for example, or make it 100th position. Clear? ఇది ఈ రూమ్ లో దీని స్పేస్ 100. ఓకేనా? సో బై డిఫాల్ట్ దిస్ ఈస్ ద న్యూ నోడ్ and this is the null node. Clear? So when I start adding, I am going to add a next node. Clear? So when I add it either from the beginning or from the ending or at a specified position. If I add it at the beginning, what will happen? ఇది న్యూ నోడ్ ఉండే, రైట్? ఇప్పుడు బిగినింగ్ వచ్చేసరికి ఇంకొక నోడ్ వస్తుంది. బై డిఫాల్ట్ when I add a new node, that will become new node. అంటే ఈ న్యూ నోడ్ అనేది నాన్ న్యూ నోడ్ అయిపోయి ఇది న్యూ నోడ్ అవుతుంది. Clear? So this new node will become head and this will point to null. Till when? Till I create a link for it, right? After creating the null, this will hold the address of this particular node. Clear? This is the first concept. The second concept is insert at the ending. Ending kochesariki temporary అని యూజ్ చేస్తాం because already the node is created. Clear? So I am adding a new node, so this will become temporary node. Clear? Next, I am adding data to this. After that, this will become non-null. This address will be stored here and then this one will become null. Second case. Third case, what you are doing? I am saying I want a data somewhere in one position. So this position I want. So 1, 2, this was 3, right? ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి it should check the condition for I is equal to 1, I less than position as third. For example, third minus 1 ఇక్కడ దాకా వచ్చిన తర్వాత ఈ టెంపరరీ నోడ్ ఇక్కడ న్యూ నోడ్ అవుతుంది. Clear? When this is added, data will be added here. So data, this address will be removed. Clear? So this will hold the address of this node. Temp implies next is equal to new implies next అని ఉంది చూసారా? ఆ new implies next is equal to temp. అప్ టు 3 కాన్సెప్ట్స్ ఒక దగ్గర వస్తాయి. That time this will hold the address of this. So this is at a particular position. Next, deletion again is of 3 types. You can delete it at the ending. ఇది delete అయినప్పుడు ఇది టెంపరరీ నోడ్ ఉంటుంది. లాస్ట్ నోడ్ will always be temporary node, right? So this temporary will come here. Then this will hold null. Clear? Next, if you delete at the beginning, what will happen? That head node will come here. Clear? If you delete at a particular position, what will happen? This position will be deleted. This position will be given to this. This is called as a single linked list. Clear? So your ma'am told to tell only programming concept. I am telling only programming. Now coming to double linked list. What do you mean by double linked list? Do you know what is double linked list? Yes or no? Telsa telida? Telidu. Right? Double linked list is like a single linked list. See here. It is like a single linked list. But it has 3 fields. Clear? What is that? This is data field, this is previous field and this is the next field. Clear? for example, I am standing here. One person is beside me and the other person is here. Okay, na? Double linked list ante, I am going to hold the address of my previous friend. I am holding his hand, his address, and I am holding the address of the next friend. Clear? That is called as double linked list. In double linked list, you will be having left pointer, right pointer. Ardhamainda? Now right hand, left hand, both will work here. So I am holding the previous friend as well as the next friend. Again, the 3 deletions, insertions will be done. So here it has 3 fields. One is data field, ante value vestam ikkada. Address of the previous node and the address of the next node. So you will represent it like this. Double linked list. Okay? Clear? Put on the side heading, double linked list. Yes, I don't want any disturbance. If you are not interested, you can tell your faculty. I am not interested in the pelipoch. So all this about insertion, deletion. Write on a double linked list. You can execute the program later. You can also execute it in developer C++ if you want. A double linked list contains, don't write what is there. A double linked list contains 3 fields, three fields, F-I-E-L-D-S, 3 fields, F-I-E-L-D-S, fields. The first one is previous field, that is to store the address of, the previous node, Second one is data field, close it first, minimize it. The third one is next field, to store the address of the next node, Put on this diagram. It is represented as, put down the representation. It is represented as the first one is address of previous node, second one is value, and third one is address of next node. Ayipinda? Read on. Same thing here. Insertion can be done at the beginning, of the list, at the end of the list, after a given node, before a given node. You don't see there. There are 4 types of insertions. Insertion at beginning, insertion at ending, before a given node, after a given node. That's it. Now just see this diagram. After this we'll go to the programming part. See here. So what are you doing here? First this was the list. See here clearly. This was the list. So by default this is the head node. Okay na? Deenki previous pointer antu em undadu. Clear? So this will be null. So this is pointing to the next field. It holds the address of the next field. Similarly, see here, there are 2 linked lists here. The last one will not have any address, so it is pointing to null. Clear? So it is a 2-headed list, 2 side heads. Right? Next, when you are adding a new node, in the program you will understand this. When you are adding a new node, this head node will go to this new node. Clear? This new node will become the head node. Then this will contain null, this will contain the address of next field, and this which was null will contain the address of the new node. Clear? Next, this new node will become the head node. This is for insertion at beginning of the list. Just put this diagram in short. వేసుకోండి ఎంత తొందరగా వేసుకుంటారో వేసుకోండి కానివ్వండి. Can you see this? Yes or no? No. Simply you are saying no. Yes, now stop talking. Now see here, put down this diagram. This is the node. Yes, please be quiet. We have to complete double and circular, only then you will go out. Right? So this was the head node and this was the new node. Who is that stupid fellow? This contains null. There is no previous data here, so it contains null. Write down. Yes. మీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేకపోతే ప్రోగ్రామ్ పెడతా మీరు టైప్ చేసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోండి నో ప్రాబ్లం. You look so exhausted sitting there under the ACs and fans. ఇప్పుడే ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్లోనే ఇట్లున్నారు మీరు. మీరు ఫైనల్ ఇయర్కి వచ్చేవరకు బాగానే అయ్యేటట్టున్నారు. బంచ్ ఆఫ్ యూజ్లెస్ ఫెలోస్. Over. Go to the next diagram. Now here, you are adding a node. It is pointing to the next field. So this is the previous pointer. It does not contain any address. It has a value 5. And this contains the address of the next node. So this address was 1000. So this address will be stored here. Now this is 1002. Where will you store this address? Beside 5. Clear? Again this will contain the next node. For example, this is 10. So here this is 1004. So this will hold 1004. This is 1002 and this is null. Clear? Now over. Now I want to add a new node to the beginning. So what will I do here? Which was head? This is the head. And this is the new node by default, right? Now when I am adding a new node, what will happen? కొత్త నోడ్ని యాడ్ చేయాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? ఐఎమ్ క్రియేటింగ్ అ న్యూ నోడ్ విత్ ద మెమరీ అలొకేషన్. సో యాజ్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద న్యూ నోడ్, this will become new node. You will add data here. Now this will become null. Now this is, for example, 1010th location. So I am going to store the address of this 1000 here. 1010 will come here, and this will become the head node. Same thing. Just what you are doing, you are creating pointers, two types of pointers, one to go to the next, one to go to the previous node. That's all. అయిపోయిందా? Now when you want to add to the end of the list, ఏం చేయాలి? End of the list ఏం చేయాలి ఇప్పుడు? I want to add a node at the end of the list. What should I do? How will I add? Yes? Stand up please. Yeah. Tell me what you have to do. You have to take a temporary variable, right? For I said at the end of the list. So what will happen? This is a temporary node created. Next ఏం చేయాలి? The fields are created. Next what should I do? ఈ నల్ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో దీన్ని నాన్ నల్ చేయాలి. How will you do it? This will become the new node. నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేయాలి? ఈ పాయింటర్ అనేది ఇక్కడికి వస్తుంది, ఈ పాయింటర్ అనేది ఇక్కడికి వెళ్తుంది. 2 pointers are there. Next what will you do? This will become null. Next what is this? 1004. Clear? Sit down. Now you stand up. That little girl, please stand up. నువ్వే నవ్వుతున్నావు చూడు, stand up. Please stand up. You. Now tell me, what is the next one you have to do in insertion? Huh? What is the third type of insertion? తిన్నావా? తిన్నావా లేదా? What's your name? Are you dumb? What is your name? ఫాస్ట్గా చెప్పాలి. నీ పేరేంటి? What is your name? I am asking you. Are you having any problem? Then, what is your name? Ishita. Harshita. Are you all able to hear what she is talking? But she is nicely chatting with them. Huh? Now, what is the next one you have to do? ఏంది నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేయాలి? నెక్స్ట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్సర్షన్ ఏంటి? Sit down. What you are doing the next type of insertion? Before or after a given node, right? For example, I am taking 7. Before this, I want to insert a node. What will I do? I take a new node, which is a temporary node. Okay, this will be the new node. Next, what should I do? These pointers will be deleted. Clear? So, this pointer will point to this, and this pointer will point to this. Similarly, this will point here, and this will point to the back end. Clear? So, just remember, you are having 2 pointers. One is left pointer, and the other one is right pointer. The remaining same program like a single linked list. Clear? So, let us go to the program now. Now just here, please stop talking. Now see here, same thing, hash include stdio.h, hash include standard library function. Next what you are doing, you have created a structure, struct node, okay now, int data, data is only 1, You are having the previous pointer, the next pointer. Two links are created. This structure is same for all the nodes. Clear? Take down till here. This is the, if you are given a question, explain the structure of a node. Em cheyali? Ee structure esi diagram వేయాలి. Node diagram with that structure. Clear? Put down this one. Write down. Write a program to implement. Write a program to implement double linked list. Double linked list. Put down hash include stdio.h. Next, the standard library function. Now write down on your own the structure of a node. Don't see here. Simply you are writing structure node. The open brackets, the data field, the previous pointer and the next pointer. So here put down the diagram. Idi meeke ardham kadaniki, right? So you are creating an empty node. So this is data field, this is previous field and this is the next field. Next, similarly, struct space node star head is equal to null. So by default this is head. So this is head. So here it contains null. There is no previous pointer, so null. అయిపోయిందా? Completed? Go to the next part. Again, insertion at beginning. It is same like single linked list. మీకు single linked list నేర్చుకుంటే 3 programs వచ్చినట్టే మీకు. జస్ట్ అక్కడ లెఫ్ట్ పాయింటర్ రైట్ పాయింటర్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నారు అంతే. Write down void insert beginning int value you are creating the structure for the node. Struct node pointer new node is equal to struct node malloc size of the structure node. Next, like single linked list, you write new node implies data is equal to value. Here there are 2 pointers. So previous pointer will be null. The next pointer will be head. New node implies previous is equal to null. New node implies next is equal to head. ఇప్పుడు ఫస్ట్ నోడ్ హెడ్ కాదు, అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి? రైట్ ఆన్ ఇఫ్ హెడ్ నాట్ ఈక్వల్ టు నల్ because you are adding at the beginning of the list, head implies previous is equal to new node. అంటే ఏంటి? హెడ్ కి ముందు నోడ్. Head implies previous equal to new node and that head will be the new node when you are adding at the beginning of the list. Head implies previous is equal to new node and head equal to new node. So what is new here? Just previous node. Remaining else is same. Clear? Next, insert at ending. insert and ending. So void insert end. You are inserting that value. The last row, boys, are you writing? What about you? The last one. The third fellow. Third one. Third. Nee mundu. Nuve. Are you writing? Yes? Right. Next, you are creating memory for that node. So if that is the only node, that will become the head node. Struct node star temp is equal to head. Next, new node implies data is equal to value. New node implies next is equal to null. Next, if head double equal to null, if head double equal to null, new node implies previous is equal to null, and head equal to new node. Head equal to new node and the return function. Done? Next, while temp implies next, while temp implies next not equal to null, while temp implies next not equal to null, temp equal to temp implies next. Next, temp implies next is equal to new node. And new node implies the previous node is equal to temp. Close brackets. Completed. Next, insert at a particular position. So everything is same. Add on void insert position. Who is that? Huh? Void insert position int value comma int position, int value comma int position. Again the malloc function, it is same for single and double linked list. Girls, what is she doing? Is she writing? Are you writing? Yes or no? Next, struct node star temp equal to head. Next is new node implies data is equal to value. Next, if position is equal to 1, if it is the first position in the list, so the new node previous will be null and the new node next will be head, as it is a head value. Yes, please stop talking. Next, if head not equal to null, if head not equal to null, head implies previous is equal to new node. So if head is not the head, that is it is not null, head implies previous is equal to new node, head equal to new node and return. Head equal to new node, again a return function. Over. Close brackets. Again this is the position, same thing. For int I is equal to 1, for int I is equal to 1, I less than position minus 1, I equal to 1, I less than position minus 1 and temp not equal to null, I plus plus. Then you have temp is equal to temp implies next. If temp double equal to null, you are printing the invalid position. Return. Now if it is not null, next new node implies next is equal to temp implies next, and new node implies previous is equal to temporary. అయిపోయిందా? Next, if temp implies next not equal to null, temp implies next implies previous is equal to new node, next you are deleting the node. For deletion, Yes. What happened? Huh? What happened? కనిపించట్లేదా? స్లోగానా? ఓకే. Done? Completed? Yes or no? No? You have done deletion of a node? Delete a node. So void delete node int value struct space node start temp equal to head. Next, if head double equal to null, printf list is empty. So return. Then close brackets. If it is not the null position, అయిపోయిందా? If it is not the null position, write on. If temp implies data is equal to value, if temp implies data is equal to value, head equal to temp implies next. If head not equal to null, done. Head implies previous. Head implies previous is equal to null. Then you are freeing that temporary location. Or return. Then close brackets. Completed? Yes? Next, go for searching a node in the list. Searching a node. While temp not equal to null, this one, temp not equal to null and temp implies data not equal to value, while temp not equal to null and temp implies data not equal to value, temp is equal to temp implies next. Next, if temp double equal to null, if temp double equal to null, printf value not found, return, close brackets. Done? Next, not completed. Next, adjacent links, that is before a given node or after a given node. Write on. If temp implies next, if temp implies next not equal to null, Next, temp implies next implies previous is equal to temp implies previous. Over. If temp implies previous, if temp implies previous not equal to null, if temp implies previous not equal to null, temp implies previous implies next is equal to temp implies next. Next, అయిపోయిందా? Done? Completed? Next, write down display forward. ఫస్ట్ నుంచి లాస్ట్కి డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది, రైట్? వైడ్ డిస్ప్లే ఫార్వర్డ్, the last guys, what are you all doing? Yeah, ఏం చేస్తున్నావు? Next is if temp double equal to null, printf list is empty. Printf list is empty. Over. Close brackets. Yes, I don't want any disturbance. Over. While temp not equal to null, so here this is a two-headed arrow because forward and backward arrow. Printf percentile d by implies left hand and right side both. Temp implies data, temp is equal to temp implies next. Over. Completed. Close brackets. Printf null. You have another program. Don't be so exhausted now. Next, display backward. The same thing will come here. Wide display backward. Next, struct space node star temp equal to head. If temp double equal to null, if temp double equal to null, return. While temp implies next, while temp implies next not equal to null, temp is equal to temp implies next,
హాస్టల్కి లంచ్ టైం ఉందా లేదంటే అదే మీరు ప్రొటెస్ట్ టైం చెప్పాలి
ఇంకా 10 minutes ఉంది కదా మ్యామ్. While temp not equal to null, printf percentile d, so this by implies this side and that side both. Temp implies data, temp is equal to temp implies previous and close brackets over printf null close brackets. Next you have the main function, main. So this one you can write on your own. You are inserting at the beginning of the list, at the end of the list, at a particular position. Yes, please stop talking. Complete this. Next, printf display forward. For that, the display function is there. Next, printf display backward. You are using display backward function. Over. Over. Again, you are deleting some node which is already there in the list. అయిపోయిందా? You are just displaying forward and backward notation and return 0. So after deletion, అయిపోయిందా? So this is the output of this one, forward display, backward display and after deletion. Now it is not done yet. Complete it. Completed? Yes? Now, just we are having another 10 minutes. Yes, let us complete one task. Just listen, all of you should be attentive. Clear? That check shirt. Stand up. Stand up. Now he is a new node. Listen carefully. He is a new what? I have declared him as a node. He is empty. Now I am asking him one question. Who is your favorite hero? తొందరగా వినాలి మీరు, గట్టిగా చెప్పాలి. ఎన్టీఆరా? ఫైన్. హీ ఈజ్ ద ఫస్ట్ నోడ్. నౌ హీ ఈజ్ ద హెడ్ నోడ్. టు హూమ్ ఈజ్ హీ పాయింటింగ్? ఇంకెవరైనా నించోబెట్టానా నేను? No one. Next, you stand up. Not you, that third, this one, yes, please stand up. Yeah. Now he is the second node, he is empty. Now I am allocating memory for him. He is at the 100th position. Clear? Now what is his position next? Second position, and he is at 102 position because it's an integer data type. Who is your favorite hero? Prabhas. Next. Now is he the head or not? He is not the head because the first node is already created. He is the new node now. To whom is he pointing? Second one. నేను వాల్యూ అనట్లేదు, వాల్యూ అనేది ప్రభాస్, మీరు క్లియర్గా వినాలి. ఆయన ఎవరికి పాయింట్ చేస్తున్నాడు? నెక్స్ట్ ఆయన తర్వాత ఎవరున్నారు? ఎవరు లేరు. టు హూమ్ ఈజ్ హీ పాయింటింగ్? హీ ఈజ్ పాయింటింగ్ టు ద నెక్స్ట్ హీరో. క్లియర్? నెక్స్ట్ యూ స్టాండ్ అప్, బ్లూ డ్రెస్, ఫాస్ట్, నువ్వే మాస్క్ నించో. యా, హూ ఈజ్ యువర్ ఫేవరెట్ హీరో? మహేష్ బాబు. సో షీ ఈజ్ ద థర్డ్ నోడ్. సో 1 is pointing to 2, 2 is pointing to 3. Clear? Similarly, I am making 5 people. Another 2, please stand up. Any 2. Fast ga. No nincho. White dress. Yes, you only. Stand up. And nincho ba. Fourth one. Clear? And you stand up. 5. Now, please stand up. In single linked list, what do? We go forward only. Listen carefully. This is very important for stacks also. Listen now. ఇప్పటిదాకా ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ మీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేదు, ఇప్పుడన్నా వినండి. సో హీ ఈజ్ హ్యావింగ్ వన్ హీరో, హీ ఈజ్ స్టోరింగ్ వన్ అనదర్ హీరో, హీ ఈజ్ హ్యావింగ్ వన్ హీరోయిన్. సో దే ఆర్ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెంట్ డేటా టైప్స్. క్లియర్? ఇఫ్ హీ ఈజ్ స్టోరింగ్ ఇంట్, హీ మే స్టోర్ క్యార్. దట్స్ వై యూ ఆర్ టేకింగ్ స్ట్రక్చర్. క్లియర్? సో హీ ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. He is still the head node, and she is not pointing to any node, so she is null. Clear? Next, if I tell him to sit down, who is the next node? Sit down. So he was the beginning node, he sat down. He is deleted. Now who is the next new node? Head node. So he is the head node, but who is the new node still? Who is the new node? The last one which was created. Clear? Ardhamainda? Next, please stand up again. I am telling the last node to be deleted, so she will be deleted. Clear? So who is the null node now? She is pointing to null because she was the fourth node created. Clear? So single linked list means you go only in one direction, forward direction. So I say some other person to be deleted, he will delete. If I say some other person to add in between, when you are adding him, he is added in some particular position in between. Clear? Now what is double linked list? What is double linked list in this concept? He is the first node, he is pointing to the second node. Before him was any other node created? No. So he is pointing to null. Clear? Now she is the last node, she will be pointing to whom? The previous node will be the fourth node and the fifth node will be null. The next node, next type of list is circular linked list. Ante enti? 1 will point to 2, 2 will point to 3, 4, 5, again 5 will point to 1. So there is no tail node in circular linked list. So if you learn single linked list properly, somewhere here and there, sit down, you can make some additions writing previous next. That's it. Clear? So learn single linked list clearly. For that, just for a double linked list, you are creating a next pointer and a previous pointer. Remaining everything will be same. Clear? So for a circular linked list, what will happen? There won't be any last node. The last node will point to first node always. Clear? It is not double-sided, it is a single-sided node, circular node. Clear? Next, in the next class, we will do circular list.